To me, there are no limits. I mean, don't tell me that we can't be done. Tell me how can we do it? And therefore, I lead my team and my community in ways that expand our thinking, expand our vision. I want to leave a legacy. I want to make a difference in this world.
Hi, I'm Carol Podell, and this is She Takes the Lead. Hi, party people. It's Carol. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are listening and or watching. And just so you know, we are now on YouTube at She Takes the Lead podcast. So check us out over there. Hit subscribe, give us a bunch of stars, all the things. It does matter to keep this podcast going. So today I have a great guest. Her name is Raimonda Jan, also known as Raimonda Jan. And she is not just a friend, but she is also a mentor of mine. She has devoted her life and her career to empowering women to amplify their voices unapologetically. And she is, if nothing else, unapologetically herself. She's an international speaker. She's a best-selling author, a visibility expert with a passion for helping women break through the barriers that hold them back from being fully seen and heard. She's the founder of Women Thrive Media, which is a global platform for women's empowerment. And she's dedicated her life to amplifying women's voices and inspiring them to lead with authenticity, courage, and purpose. She is my kind of lady. She's also the lead publisher of Women Thrive books and the chief editor and founder of Women Thrive magazine. So this woman is creating an empire, and I'm here for it. She's been in Success, The Successful Founder, Medium, Sway, Yes Magazine, and she has an incredible journey from being silenced to empowered, which is kind of wild because once you start listening to her, you have no idea how she could ever be silenced. But I'm so glad that she was able to overcome her own trauma of losing her voice. And we're here for it. I sure am. So I hope you enjoy today's episode. This is Raimonda Jan. Hi, Raimonda. Welcome to She Takes the Lead.
Thank you. It's so exciting to be here.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you here for all kinds of reasons. I have bunches of questions. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about Women Thrive, which is this fabulous company that you have created from your own mind, body, and soul.
I love that. I love that expression, actually. Well, I am a visibility expert and coach. I support women who are wanting to get visible and also speak on stages globally. I founded Women Thrive Media in 2020. And it's a platform for women to be spotlighted, to have a voice. So we have a magazine, we have events, our annual Women Thrive Summit, books, podcasts, and a whole platform and a community really as a safe space for women to have a voice and advocate for their businesses and also for what they believe in.
That's amazing. It's an empire. It's a total empire. Were you planning for it to be an empire when you started this? Was that the vision, or has it developed as you've gone?
Not at all. I think I went down an entrepreneurial route when I was 21, actually, and I wanted just to have my own business, to have freedom to live my life on my own terms. And it really has evolved over the years. So first, it was called Women in Business, and I started with Women in Business events in London. And the mission and the platform really evolved. I've listened to what my audience wanted and also followed the breadcrumbs of my own ambitions, as well as kind of the mission that also evolved through my own experiences and what I saw was needed in the marketplace. And so step by step, it just evolved to what it is today.
I love that you use the word ambition because I think we share that. And I've always been hugely ambitious, sometimes blindly, which is not always great, but usually gets me out of a lot of trouble in the end. But have you always been an ambitious person?
I would say yes. I've always been sort of visionary and wanted to create something a little bit bigger or create something that would be of value to the world. I never really wanted to follow an ordinary career path. And for me, my way of expressing myself, my creativity, and my ideas was through entrepreneurship. And so I think I became quite ambitious in having visions for creating businesses for quite a young age. And I was just looking for the thing that would rock my world and be significant enough for me to pursue, which now is Women Thrive.
You're very intentional now. I've known you for a little while, and you are very intentional, and you're also very open to what's happening around you to reshift your intention, which is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of inner work as well as your eyes open. Is this something that you've developed over the years where you came out this way? Tell me, do you have tips? What is your background? Because it's not typical in terms of how people think, in my experience at least.
I always wanted to leave a significant impact in the world. And I think that's important when you entrepreneur and you're building a business. I think there are a number of things that you have to tap into. One, what are your values? What is it that is important? Because in the end of the day, entrepreneurship is not easy. And there are times when you want to give it up, right? There are times when you want to throw in the towel and say, okay, I'm done. And in order for me to stay motivated, I think it has to align with my values and also the vision that I have. And I always have bigger vision. And even though I think ambition is relative, right? And your goals and visions is relative to what you've been exposed to, what you think are your limits. And to me, there are no limits. I mean, don't tell me that we can't be done. Tell me how can we do it? And therefore, I lead my team and my community in ways that expand our thinking, expand our vision. I want to leave a legacy. I want to make a difference in this world. And therefore, I pursue such business ideas that allows me to make an impact, but also have my creative expression that is in line with my ambition. Not just ambition, but my values. I think that's what's really important.
Was there a moment when you were a kid or somewhere where you realized that you wanted to have this impact? Was it, this is a belief system on a certain level, right? Like, was there an event when you were a child or a young woman or something that pushed you into this place? Because it takes a lot of power and a lot of struggle, as you said.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't put it down to one thing. I think to some extent is how we're wired. And I've always been wired that way to find solutions to problems. I think that's at the core of entrepreneurship. When every time you see something and you see an opportunity, and I remember when I was working for a commercial property company, and I was merely sort of not administrative, but sort of a secretary or working at a front desk, and I was surrounded by a lot of businesses in the building, and I could see there's better ways we could do it. There's ways that we could implement new initiatives that would involve the community and create a better customer experience. And I was limited to what I could do, or the company didn't really care about our input and our ideas. And I thought, well, that kind of sucks. You build a big business, big organization, and the people at the front line not able to make a difference. And that's when I felt like I don't want to be insignificant. I didn't want to be just a number in an organization, which actually the organization was one of the top 100 companies to work for in the UK.
Wow.
And yet I still just felt like a number. It was just like I couldn't make a difference. And that's where I thought, I want to pursue my own. And I felt like a fresh breath air when I was able to create something from my own mind, from my own thoughts, and know that I can make a difference. My first business didn't take off in the way I thought. And there's always learning curves. And I'm always loving and enjoying this entrepreneurial journey because it will always expose areas where you need further development, and it will always expose areas where you need to do more work on yourself. And it allowed me to create a roadmap of incredible personal development that I wouldn't have otherwise had unless I pursued entrepreneurship. So I'm super grateful to have been able to go on this journey and also evolve myself as a person.
That's amazing. It's amazing. So, two words stick out. They're opposing but brilliantly together, which is I didn't want to feel insignificant And what you do is you're a visibility expert. You help women become visible. So tell me what visibility means to you. And you've now seen a lot of women who are wanting to be visible with probably, I would think, myself included, very different definitions of that.
Yeah, of course. And I think there is a lot of struggle, especially for women, because there's a lot of thoughts of, is my voice significant? Can I make a difference in this world? And I think visibility scares a lot of people because you have to go out there and be yourself and get in front of people. When I was younger, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Every time you'd have to speak up in a meeting or be presenting on a stage, you'd feel the jitters, right? And you feel maybe red flushed, flooded with fear. I had to overcome all of those things because I knew that if I wanted to make a difference and build a successful business, I had to get in front of people. I had to speak and advocate for my business and talk about things that I wanted to do and get people involved in what it is that I do. So, visibility is advocating really for yourself and who you are and what you do. And I say in today's world, it's so important that women do advocate for themselves. I had to overcome many, many barriers and many internal challenges and struggles in order to be visible and use my voice. At some stage in my life, I felt very uncomfortable with being visible because I questioned myself, I questioned my identity. I'd gone through challenges and actually depression where it made me not want to speak and hide. And so visibility was very, very difficult, but I see it as very crucial part of us as women being able to be successful in what we do and get out there into the world and speak our truth and represent ourselves and our businesses.
Yeah, lead by example, right? You're very much a lead by example leader from what I have experienced for sure. So we cannot not talk about this if we are talking about visibility, especially as women, because you recently shaved your head from all of this gorgeous blonde hair. And it was very significant for you. And I want to hear about this. You have to tell me what got you there, what made you do it, and how is it now?
Yeah, well, I had long blonde hair for a very long time, my entire life. At some stage, my hair was all the way down my back. And 2 years ago, I shaved the side of my head. And that was my way of taking my power back and liberating myself to say, hair does not need to define who I am. And so I shaved the side of my hair because I was going through my internal rebirth or just evolvement. I walked out of a difficult relationship that was very controlling and pretty narcissistic. And I just wanted to feel a change. I felt a change internally when I took my power back, but I also needed to feel internal shift and evolvement. And most recently, with the hair that I just shaved, again, it felt like another layer of me stepping into who I am and stepping into my freedom, my liberation, peeling the layers off because I felt like for so long I defined myself by hair and I defined myself by the exterior. But when that is taken away from me, especially hair, because we hide behind our hair, we hide behind many things. It might be clothes for you, it might be hair, it might be makeup, it might be a persona that you have built. So when I decided to shave the hair and I was doing it, and I could feel the hair just falling off my head, I felt a new level of nakedness, but at the same time, self acceptance and reveal of myself, of who I truly am without the mask, without definitions, without something that we wear to be that person. Now, all I had was me. It was just me. And it felt liberating and empowering, self empowering, because I always question myself as a leader, am I truly living what I preach? Am I truly in alignment of the things that I say, or am I just saying it? Right? There's so many people that would just say this is what I believe, but are you taking the same actions that corresponds with that? And I ask myself those questions. And this was just incredible alignment. Now I truly walk my talk, being authentic. Authenticity is one of my personal big values, being true to who you are, being real, being authentic, speaking your truth. And there was nowhere to hide. And now I just feel like, well, people can just see me without the makeup, without the hair, without all the exterior.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get it. It's funny. I was always dirty blonde until I was about 13. And then I started highlighting my hair. So at 13, I started coloring my hair. And I'm neurodiverse. I'm dyslexic. I now know I have ADHD as well. Like there was a lot of bumpy insecurity around intelligence growing up. And
Mm.
being blonde, I loved being blonde. I actually love being blonde. I go out of my way to be blonde now. But I felt like a dumb blonde for a really long time, to the point where I dyed my hair dark red because I wanted to feel the power of a redhead. And then I cut it all off because I didn't shave it, but I like cut it full pixie because I was like, I wanted to, now I understand all of these experiences and what they provided me.
Mm.
But it was like that moment of feeling the change and needing the physical manifestation of it. But also, like in my case, was my mother's a redhead and she's a powerful woman. And I connected with the redhead in a way that I wanted to, I guess, embody that woman the way I see my mom embody. I mean, it was so like heavy handed. Everybody was like, you dyed your hair. You always dye your hair. You always do this. And I always change it and stuff. But no, I think that when you are connected with it, and then same thing, after I got divorced, when I started the fertility journey, and actually after the first IVF cycle did not work, I cut my hair off.
Mm.
And I was working in corporate. I couldn't do what you did. And I would love to and will at some point do this exact thing. But I cut it off because I was like, I need all of this to go away. It felt like tentacles in a way of my history that it didn't serve
Yeah.
me anymore. And then in COVID, you had all of these women that were growing their gray out to embody that, to take that power back because they felt enslaved to the process of it because they didn't like it. And
Yeah.
I think it's kind of amazing because you've just upped the game. You just know, but I mean, it's true. Like, I'm curious as we move through this. You certainly are a leader, and you certainly move through this as potentially may have just created a new trend of the next level of women's empowerment.
I love it. It's true. When I shaved my hair, I went into my bathroom and was like, okay, well, time to pack it up. What I mean
Oh
by that,
God.
as a blonde,
Yes. Oh yeah.
the amount of products that we had to go through, right? And so I went into my bathroom and I packed it all away. And it was a massive bag of stuff that we had to use for my hair. And I was like, and the hair slavery. We do so much to live up to this ideal. And as you say, there's so much connotation to being blonde. Hair makes a woman. I'm just tired. Honestly, I'm just tired. Over the last few years, I've gone through absolute diabolical journey with my hair, people burning it, not knowing how to do it. My last hairdresser I went, she colored my hair and she pretended that she didn't burn the hair and the hair was coming out. And she was like, are you pregnant? I was like, hell no, I'm not pregnant. You just burnt my freaking hair. And
Oh
and
wow.
the hair slavery, come on. Like how much we have to put in what to live up to somebody's ideal, what a woman should be or how she should look like. And the blonde hair is the hardest thing to keep up. And I'm done trying to keep up to my appearances to something else. I'm just done. Now I go in the shower, I have a little wash, and I'm like, oh, girl, that feels so good.
Nice, nice. I love that. I love that. It's such a good feeling. You're going to like up the timing for me. I'm certain of it. I can see it happening. I'm just like, What's she doing? This looks really
We
cool.
might have to do an event, like shave your hair
I
event.
know, right? Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh my God.
Liberate. Honestly, so liberating. And I told my mom, I told my sister, both were like freaking out. I can't believe you're going to do it. Don't do it. And they would ask me when you're going to grow out your hair. I'm like, no, I'm going to shave it. I mean, that's my hair. I mean, just because you wouldn't do it or you're too afraid to face your true self and you think your hair makes you, that's more the reason to do it. That's more the reason to take your power back and say, and you know what was so amazing? My partner, he's like, I love it. He's like, I absolutely adore it. You look exactly how I thought you would look. And I just can't wait to just run my hands over your hair and just embrace it. And that was just such a beautiful support for
Yeah.
me to actually more so do
Yeah. For
it.
your partner to see you for you and
Yeah.
love it. Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. So we share this because you're a new mom to a degree. She's a little over one now, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how your parenting was affected by your entrepreneurship and adversely how your entrepreneurship was affected by your becoming a mom. I want to hear this because I think it was a big one. Yeah.
How much time we got? My entire life, I used to think you have to reach a certain level of success or freedom in order to have children. And I thought that by having children, I would have to put my life on pause. And then I intentionally got pregnant. I wanted to be pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant and have children. And the minute I found out I was pregnant, that gave me a whole different motivation to build and scale my business. The minute I found out, I started to map my business out. How can I allow myself more time with my daughter when she is born to be more present as a mom?
Mm.
So I've gone from having 5 team members and being in low six figures as a business. I decided, I said, no, I need to grow and scale. And within a few months, I gone to nearly 15 team members, created a better infrastructure, created management team, created processes and systems and everything, planning for when she arrives into this world. And it was really tough because at times I was really tired. As when you go through pregnancy, you feel exhausted. So I used every time that I had available to me to strategically grow and scale my business, to allow myself more freedom and to allow myself more money as well, to be able to have that freedom. When she arrived, I went back to work pretty quickly within a few weeks, actually, because I felt like I wanted to and my business needed it. So I did have a lot of support and I still have a lot of support. My mom and my stepdad take care of her when I'm not able to. I try to be very present as mom. So every time I'm not working, I am trying to be with her. But it has taken its toll on my social life. It has taken a toll of my self-care, my choices, choosing to travel somewhere, choosing to take an opportunity, choosing to speak on a stage or attend an event. It has obviously limited to how much I can do to some extent because my priority is her. And I don't mind because you have to pick and choose what are your priorities and make those choices. And more recently, I've struggled. I can really say that I struggled by not having enough time for my business and therefore my business getting behind a curve of what I needed to do.
Mhm.
And just this week, just today, actually, she went to school full day. She started with half a day, and now she's full day at school. And I'm so happy to have my freedom back. More time. I went to the gym. The first thing I chose to do today, I was like, I need to get back in a gym because that's my time. That's me taking my power back to
Yeah.
have time for myself to start with, and then my business. And I've hired productivity coach who we're working up, change the systems in my business, created more time for me to be more productive. So how now I'm thinking, how can I use those 6, 7 hours out of my day when she is at school to be able to be the most productive that I can be. So again, I'm trying not to sacrifice my time with her or sacrifice my business, but how can I work smarter but not harder? And it's been evolution, learning, struggles, challenges, but it's worth it. And we get to say, I can do it all, because I didn't think I could do both: run a business, have my career, and be a mother. But actually, I can do it all. I just have to be more mindful of how I do it and manage my time a little bit better. And that's all.
Amazing. So tell me like 3 things that have been game changers for you in that process, like from there to now.
Intentionality, knowing what you want and why do you want it? Why does it matter? I didn't just decide to scale my business just because it sounds really nice to have a 7-figure business or multiple 6-figure business. It's not just sounding nice. It was because I wanted to provide freedom for myself and for my daughter, build a future for my daughter. Self management of being able to manage yourself, your time, your priorities. If you're able to self manage, you're able to manage other people. That goes without saying. And patience, because it's not easy. Sometimes you lack of sleep. Sometimes, like she was sick and I was sick for the last 3 weeks, and it was frustrating. But you know what? I just had to say at some points, I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
give in. If
Yeah.
that means me pausing for now and wasting some resources because I can't be present in my business and my daughter needs me, patience. You got to exercise patience with yourself, with your kids, and all the things that are going on around you, because you can't pull your hair. I mean, I've got no hair to pull now, but
Yeah, you can't do that either, can you?
I can't. So that's not even an option anymore. But
Yeah.
patience is the big one.
Can you do a little bit deeper dive into the self-management? This is a topic that I am very big on. I'm very much an advocate of it. And I work very hard at it because it's not always, often rather, not that easy. Self-management requires a lot of pieces. It requires self-awareness. It requires honesty around what's going on around you. And then it requires choices that are not always the popular one. And sometimes they don't feel right unless except in that one little place. So can you do a little bit of a deeper dive on what that means and what that looks like, especially from the entrepreneur? We have entrepreneurial listeners. We also have like mom listeners, even, and dad listeners that are, this is a big one, I think, for a lot of people. That is you feel like you don't have a say, a control, or your voice ultimately. So tell me a little more about self-management.
I think you covered some of the main things, to be honest. And it's all of those things. It is all of those
Tell me
things.
more.
Self acceptance. We go around judging ourselves, saying we're not good enough. And look, we all got 24 hours in a day. Okay. And that's not to make you feel better or worse, but we've all got the same amount of time. And the self management is that self awareness, understanding where you're really good at and what things you're not very good at, understanding how you function, right? If you can understand how you're wired and your pitfalls, where are you regularly pitfalling, right? So if you understand that, okay, this is how I usually behave, and that isn't serving me, my business, or those around me, self awareness then plays a part in it to say, okay, look, I know that's how I'm wired. This is how I always do things. Well, how about if that doesn't serve me, I change that, but change that by building a new habit, changing by having support, changing by putting other people in charge. Let's say I'm not a manager, I'm a leader. Okay. So I'm not a detail person. I'm just not. I'm a big vision person. I have
Yeah.
a vision and I don't care about the details. So being aware of that, I put other people into place. Okay. And if I try to run before I can walk, because usually big vision, okay, let's do it, then I put other people or checks and balances in place in order to check me have you got everything in place that you need to do? So just that self-awareness. I run a company that has multiple functions in it. We run events, we've run Summit magazine, podcast. I do private coaching. I've got a big team, and I'm not perfect. And I wouldn't say, hey, I meticulously plan out my days. I'm getting there. I'm not very good like that. Okay. But I do something that works for me because I utilize all my strengths, and where are my weaknesses. I either try and work on it or just have other people supporting me, right? I'm not very good at cleaning homes. I
Amen,
hate it.
sister.
So
Yeah, no, same.
I don't rely on myself to do it, because if it was me, I just rather sit down. Look, I'm renovating my home, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is fighting me on the fact that I've hired an interior decorator. And
Mm-hmm.
we've been fighting over this for weeks because she doesn't believe it's a good investment. She's like, she hates the fact that I've done that. But I say to her, I said, look, hiring an expert like an interior designer for me means it reduces my hours to make decisions, to do the sourcing, to do the design, to make mistakes, to do all the things that I'm not good at and I don't want to do it. Give me those hours back and allow me to make money. I'll
Mm.
make more money than I'm spending on her because I'm doing the thing that I'm really good at, and let
Right.
her take care of it. So I don't have to make decisions. So I don't have to make mistakes. So I don't have to pull my hair out doing it.
Yeah.
Let me do the thing that I'm really, really good at. So as a leader, as a manager, even at home, if you're a mother, tap into the thing that you're very good at and focus your energy on that. Anything that isn't, like let's say you don't cook, you're not very good cook, and that constantly causes you problems and headache and doesn't allow you to have the freedom. Well, create a plan that doesn't require you to do that. And it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg.
Right. Your entire universe is really about knowing yourself and understanding, like knowing who you are and being who you are. I think that's such a big piece, especially for us as women, but where we want to be doing all of it because we can, is the truth. We're not necessarily good at all of it. And also, life is not necessarily designed. It's not actually designed for us to do all of it. But the expectation often is that we are to. But once you kind of pass that, and certainly you are an example of it, once you pass that point where you're like, I don't need to do it all myself, I don't need to touch everything. It really is an incredible power that you have.
There's so much expectation that women should take our kids to school. We should be cooking. We should be cleaning. We should be doing this. We should be. Listen, you know yourself. I say, be unapologetic about who you are and step into your power. Stop trying to live up to anybody else's expectations of what women should be, what you should be, how you should behave. Even if it's my own family, my own parents that wanting me to do something else, I'm so hard headed and stubborn on this is what I need to do. This is how I'm wired. This is what my intentions are. And I'm going for it. And I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anybody decides for me, because everybody will have an opinion of how you should be, what you should do, how you should parent. I'm sorry, but that's my life. You go do what suits you. This is my life. This is taking your power back and being empowered, advocating for yourself, having your own voice, empowering yourself from the inside out, and know that, okay, I might make mistakes. You know how many people told me that I shouldn't pursue entrepreneurship, that what I was doing was completely stupid and like I should go and pursue a career? Do you know how many people judge me for being broke but pursuing my dream? For years, people used to look down on me for pursuing, are you still pursuing that silly dream of yours? Years. Now, my mom talks to family, friends, and even herself. She can't even believe how much I'm able to charge an hour for my time, or how
Yeah.
far people would fly, or how much people would pay to spend a week with me or a couple of days with me. She's like, that's insane. And I'm like, yes, because I worked my way up to it. I believed in it and I achieved it. And people willing to do that because they also want to learn how to do that. So I believed in myself and I say, I don't care what you think, but I'm going to do what suits me. And this is my vision and I'll pursue it fearlessly without anybody telling me I have to do anything else but what I need to do.
Amen again. I'm like waving a fan back here. Raimonda has brought us to church, even though I'm a Jew. She's brought us to church. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, for me, I think it's a muscle that you, as you said, you didn't start here, but you were building that muscle in such a focused way that it's just, it seems at this point that it is automatic. I mean, everybody has bad days and we all make mistakes, but the muscle itself of understanding that it's not a quick fix, but it can happen is such a powerful piece to know about yourself and about life, really, right?
I failed. I struggle. Even just a few weeks ago, I came out and said, I struggle. I'm a human like everybody else. But here's the thing. As you said, it's a muscle. I've been exercising this muscle of self-belief for a long time because I was so stubborn. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more you grow, the more you prove yourself that you're capable, that you can, that it's going to work out, that look, take a bet on yourself. The more capacity you build within yourself to continue in believing in yourself, to continue to take action. I wouldn't be able to do what I do today if someone is looking at me and saying, I want to do what she's doing, I want to get there really quickly, maybe I can hire someone and just get there really quickly. It's not going to happen because you have to learn your own lessons and you have to become that person. Because I wouldn't be able to coach and mentor the women that I do today without the experience that I've gone through, without the wisdom that I've built. So it has taken me so many years to get here and to be able to run a big team, to be able to run empires, to be able to step into projects that are bigger than me because I've been exercising over and over and over again and failing along the way. I still fail in things within my business, but I'm like, okay, fine, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Like,
Right.
it's not make or break of me, or it's not a reflection of me. It's just that didn't work. So it comes back to, what are your values? What is your mission? Why does it even matter? Let's start there. And then, like,
Oh, yes.
is it really? Are you doing it because you're trying to please someone? Are you doing it because it's the expectation of somebody else? Or you do, like I was doing it for me because this was the core of me. Nobody can define me and not say that I'm an entrepreneur. That was within me. I had no choice but pursue it because it was like cutting off my arm, like, or trying to be someone that I'm not. So I was just pursuing what I know, who I am, and I had to do it.
Yeah. There's in acting, Stella Adler was like a famous acting teacher. And she used to say, actors, artists are born with a broken heart, right? And they're born with it. They're born with this piece that can't be fixed without acting, without performing, without having that emotional escape. And I think people pigeonhole themselves as either creative or not. But I think that most things that we do are both. I understand they lean in one direction, but I really think that most, and you are embodying that. I mean, I'm that way as well. Like, I am in rooms where people are linear, I'm always the creative person. And rooms where people are creative, I'm always the linear person. And it's never failed. And early on in my life, I felt bad in both rooms about it because I wasn't fully one or the other. And finally, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this is actually a strength because nobody else is this. So let me see how I can maximize this. But it took a long time and a lot of self-acceptance of who I actually am and who I want it versus who I want to be.
Yeah, just accepting. It's so hard for a lot of people, most of us, to just be yourself and accept who you are without thinking, oh, am I enough? Enough for who?
Oh, I'm putting that on a pillow. I'm putting that on my daughter's pillow, actually. You're going to see a pillow that's going to say that. I will quote you, though.
Enough
I will
for
definitely quote
who?
you.
Just be enough for yourself, or just accept that whatever you bring to the table, even on your worst day, look, just by being, you're enough. Not by doing, just by being, you are enough.
That is the smartest. I think I don't even know what to say after that. I don't even know what to say after that. Tell me where people can find you. Tell me what you're doing, what they should know, and where they could find you. I know everybody wants to know all the things.
I just want to say, you don't need to find me.
Well, if they are trying,
I need you to find yourself. Find yourself first.
look how giving you are. You're such a giving woman. You're such a giving human being. We need more of you. We need the givers. We need the givers who are not the caretakers.
No, we need people to find themselves and their
Yes.
purpose in this world. I mean, and I always say, I built the platform. I didn't build the platform for myself, right? I'm a Leo. I love to be in the spotlight. Don't get me wrong. But I built the platform for women to be in the spotlight, to know that they have a voice, they have a mission, they have a purpose in this world, and they are enough. So if you're thinking, "Oh, am I worthy enough? Do I have something important to say?" Come onto our platform and just speak your truth. Okay? Speak about the things that you're passionate about, things that you love doing, things that you've learned along the way, and just remember you're enough. So if you want to connect to our platform, Women Thrive, and you'll find us, you'll find me, you'll find my story written in Women Thrive books, and my story of self empowerment, just stepping into who I am and shedding the layers and the experiences and the limitations and people trying to silence us. I wrote my stories in the books. We speak on our Women Thrive podcast. We host a summit every year. So anything Women Thrive, you'll find me through that platform. But find yourself first and just be unapologetic and put yourself out there in a big way. World deserves to hear you. Don't deprive the world of your greatness, of your light, of your purpose, your mission, your voice. Just get out there and stop questioning yourself. Stop dimming your life. Just get out there and start speaking your truth. And that's what I want to say to every single woman who may be listening to this today.
I want to add, because you give a platform for women, myself included, who are looking to free their voice and stand on the platform, which can be performative, but it doesn't have to be performative. It can just be for your own empowerment as well. Women Thrive, yes, it is for visibility around in a sort of air quote, I guess, performative way, in that you're looking to express it. But this is such a crucial tool, a crucial place for any woman, I think, to just have say in their own life in the middle of their living room.
And I want you to go onto this platform and see what other women are doing. Be inspired by their stories. Think about, how can I realize myself? Because when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I used to read Success Magazine, and I used to vision how one day I'll be featured in this magazine, how I could be the entrepreneur I look up to. There are examples of many women just like you, just like everyday women who are doing extraordinary things. Step into your calling and just do it unapologetically without the fear of judgment. And I just want to create a platform where we all feel like we can be ourselves. Like we found our home, we found fellow women who are doing amazing things. We can be inspired. We don't have to catfight or fight for space in this world. We can all shine and we can all thrive together. The reason why I call the Women Thrive, because I want every woman to thrive. I want you to have success. I want you to be shining in this world. Let's do it. Let's do it together. And we can make a huge, huge difference in this world when we start to change our thinking, the way we see the world and with the way we see ourselves. Just step into it.
Raimonda Jan, I just think I love and adore you. That's it.
I love you
I'd be
too.
hugging you and kissing you all over your face right now if I could.
I'll be seeing New York City next year, that's for sure.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on here and talking to me. This was so
It's a
great.
joy. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone have enjoyed this episode and continue to follow you as well in your amazing journey.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, please hit subscribe. You can also find me at carolpodell.com, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Carol Podell. You can watch this at She Takes the Lead podcast on YouTube. If you'd like to keep in touch, go to my website. I've got a few things I'd love to send you. In the meantime, mwah!